time to prove what. No time, no time.
That fuck all that, nigga. We turn it up. So I just had to rebuild the studio from scratch.
Like all my life type shit. But
Yeah. You on the platform. And, how's it growing up like in Sac? Just you were born and raised in Sacramento.
Born and raised in South Sacramento. Born and raised.
Okay, and how was it
Growing up,
just growing up in that area?
growing up in South Sac. Like I said, it was always the type of thing where it was like an up and a down. But it's the type of thing where depending on where you live in South Sacramento. When I was coming up, my whole family from South Sacramento, like my big brothers, my big cousins, they all already like I was already pre-exposed to everything when I was in like I was probably like elementary school, like young in elementary school. And I remember just like seeing my big brothers and like his partners and like peeping what they was doing, seeing what you see, you know what I mean, seeing what type of time they was on, what type of lingo they was using, what type of signs they was throwing up, all that different type of stuff. And it was like since just early, I already had it embedded in my head, like I already knew what all this was. And then living in South Sacramento as a kid, you almost gonna like well back then because that's why it's like such a big like distinction between then and now. Because back then it was almost like you was forced into it, like you, there was no way around it. If you was really outside in South Sacramento, like you had to run into these different like, where you from, like what you on, what you like. Those questions was gonna get asked to you if you was outside. So it was different back then. Like I remember being super young and not like always going outside. You just already knew, like you preemptively knew that like it's like a it's like 80% chance that like somebody gonna pull up on you. You feel me? Like it was one of those type of things back then for sure.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Like you just had to even like even within the neighborhood, you might if you've been there for generations, you might it might be somebody and he know my big brother. You know what I mean? Like it might be somebody who him and my big brother was on bad terms, and now he looking at me and I'm not even knowing. You know, like it's just a whole bunch of different situations like that that you'll run into. South, but I love South Sacramento though, like to the core. I feel like the energy that we got out there, like the presence that we bring, the the way that we really like kind of like it's almost like it's like a family. Like you talk to somebody and they realize you from the south. It's like oh okay, instantly like it's always gonna be a cold lock in, like especially going to school and stuff from, and that's from Elder Creek to 6-8 to Meadowview to like all throughout the regions. It's just like you could damn near maneuver through there and somebody gonna know somebody. Like
Yeah.
your cousin gonna have a partner here that's gonna make sure you good. Or you gonna know a partner that you maybe knew in elementary school, and now he been hanging out on this side of the south, but y'all link back up, and it's like, oh okay, like it's always been that type of stuff. Like it's a real homie type vibe. Because
Okay. There's a lot of
the south side of Sacramento really big. Like
politics.
it's really a big section. So you gonna find your
There's a lot
capitals.
of
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. I hear you. There's a lot of politics that goes like with it. Like just even growing up around there, you have to like already know what's up.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Like it's a whole lot of politics, but it's also like you're not like you're not forced to be in it though. Like if you get what I'm saying, because it's niggas from the south that like they play football their whole life, but everybody know them though. Everybody in the neighborhood know them. Everybody in the neighborhood know about them. But we all know that Brett trying to be the next NBA star, and we all pushing that. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a like I never been a super politician like it's not always like nigga, you gotta be from a set, you gotta bang. It's not that, but it's like you gonna know about it regardless. Like whether you choose to dive into it or if you don't, that's your choice. Whether how far you choose to dive into it, but you gonna know about it. You gotta know about it to be able to even move smart. Like just to be able to move smart around Sacramento, you gotta know something about what's going on with the politics.
Okay, I see. I see. And did you ever get involved with any games or any of that, or did you
Nah,
stay out of that?
I'm just a super South Sacramento like representative for real for real. Like, I just love the South to the core. If we talking about like when we get into talking about like super politicky and all that like I don't even divulge because I've been around the South my whole life like so a lot of niggas that is super turned up like like into it. We was at the same parties growing up and everything, and it's still always gonna be love. Like I don't I don't involve myself in like, oh, cause y'all funking with them, I'm finna sit here and funk with him on behalf of you funking with him, and unless that's really, you know what I mean, unless we really from that same, like we both knew that, like growing up, like it's hard to really, cause it's hard to pick and choose. Like it's hard to pick and choose when it get time to do it. But it's like when you've been around for so long, it's just like if you know, like it's like if you know, it's one of those. It's not, but on the tip of like being super banged out and super into the politics, you feel me? I'd rather stick to the side. I done always been a leader more than a follower. So like Gabos, the last end of my name, of my stage name, Savvy Gabos, that Gabos shit, that's something that I started and I really got a lot of pride in. And like I've always pushed that before everything else. Like
Okay,
I've
I
always
thought that
made
was
sure,
your last name or something.
huh?
I thought that was like your last name or something.
Nah, Gabos, that's the family. Gabos, that's the family, that's the clique, that's everything that we is game man based on sympathy. And that's kind of always what I live by. Like I know what's gonna happen to me if I get caught slipping, so expect the same if I catch you slipping. Like that's kind of like the words that I'm really living by. And like get a bag or starve. Like by any means, you gotta try to make it. You feel me? Like whatever you gotta do in life, like you gotta try to make it at the end of the day. Or you can sit on your ass and be broke. It's get a bag or starve. Like so, I always been pushing that Caviar and Gabos since I was young and never even got into the streets or doing anything. I really always prioritize that over everything else. Like I'm a trip behind myself and my family before I get to just tripping off of some shit and I don't even know the whole ins and outs about it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
just
hear
like
you.
that. But
Okay.
but also though, also I will say this. This is what I will say on the tip of talking about the gang shit. Sometimes you can't sometimes you can't get around it. Sometimes like the opposing side look at you like you already with them niggas. So I'm gonna treat you like you one of them niggas. And then at that point, now I'm gonna trip with these niggas the same way as if like you get what I'm saying? Like it's so sometimes you
Yeah,
can't get around it.
true.
So
Putting down.
yeah, sometimes you can't get around
Yeah,
that shit. But
um, the group that you're hanging around with, like, were they like gang members? So that made you like not be able to like hang around with like oppositions or
it's not it's not even that. It's not even that for real. Like, but like to be honest, bro, like I'm not even lie. On the interviews I done did, I ain't even dove into talking about a lot of the politicky shit. But like growing up, like I had a stepdad, and when I was growing up, and to me he was just a normal nigga. Like he was cool. Like we was cool. We was locked in. When I got older, I learned that he was one of the shot callers from a big prominent hood in the South. So when I learned that, it kind of put that in perspective to me. Like you could be around a gang member all day, and you're not even gonna know how the rest of the city perceive them until you get to hearing other people's opinions and talks. So being around gang members, that was like that's second nature. You know, like I just said, my whole family, we've always been in the South. So like being around gang members, it's like you gonna be around some gang members. Like yeah, you come around here, you gonna be around some gang members. Like that's what it is. Even if you just hanging out, like you gonna be around this. Like that's what it's gonna be. If you go back to my earliest videos, like it's not hard to tell where I done been around my whole life. So that's that type of thing is just like, but I just don't choose with my talent and with what I got going on. I don't choose to make that my main thing that I'm pushing. Like that's just me making that conscious decision. Like we can all understand this and all know exactly where I'm from. Like it's never been a secret, never been nothing to hide. But that's not gonna be the forefront of only mess with me because y'all know I'm from here. Like I want y'all to mess with me for my talent and for what I got going on. Like, and
for
at
the
the end of the day,
music.
like I said, I always put my family over everything. Like it's a lot of niggas that'll be out here like, oh, if my cousin a sucker, I'ma pluck my cousin. I'm not one of them. Like I'm putting my family over whatever. If we was raised in that sandbox together, if I remember my earliest memories, if me coming up and molding myself was around you, I could never switch on you about no letters or no street numbers. I couldn't do it. I got that type of loyalty. Like I'm putting my family first every time. So
Word.
for me, being around gang members, yeah, I always been around gang members, but I always been around my family, and that's always been the strongest gang I've ever been around with my family. I'm putting my family 100 plus. I'm betting on us 100 times every time.
Yeah, that's your first priority. I see.
Gotta be, and a lot of niggas lose sight of that. They join these gangs and shit, and they forget that like without like if you wasn't nothing, if you ain't have nothing, you came into this world with a tribe that was already ready to. You get what I'm saying? You came into
Yeah.
this world with some people who already ready to die for you at any time. So don't go into the world and get to meeting new people and finding these new ties and fold on those people who being ready to trip on you since you was born. Like I just never lost sight of that. So I always try to make that a prominent subject in my music compared to the gang shit.
I see. Uh, did you end up having any like kids of your own?
Nah, I ain't got no kids yet. I just turned 22. I just
Oh,
turned
okay.
22. Yeah,
Yeah,
I ain't had no kids yet. I damn near ain't even had no scares. I'm a real like I live by intention. Like if I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be super intentional. I don't know how these niggas be having these accidental babies. I do a lot of stuff with intention. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
how many siblings
and
you got?
like I'm saying, like I got a super big family, so I've been like feeling like I've been raising kids since I was young. So like I got a whole bunch of little nephews, nieces. You feel me? I got a goddaughter that was just born like 6 months ago. I done always had a whole bunch of kids just already on priority, so I already felt like I had kids. You feel me?
Yeah, damn. So you were like pretty much raising everyone. Like you were like, yeah, the one responsible out of everyone.
Shit, I always tried to be for real. Like I'm the youngest too out of my mom's kids. My mom got 3 sons, and I'm the youngest. My older brothers is 3 years older than me and 12 years older than me. Um, and but my oldest brother, that was like he was like my pops because I ain't had pops in my life. So like growing up, he was like the first like he was like the only like male influence that I even listened to. Like it was my big brother. But once he got older and got to like not being at the house like that, I kind of stepped up and tried to take his position. Like okay, if when everybody's sitting here and we going to sleep, I'm finna go make sure that these doors is locked, and I know that if somebody come in here trying to do something, I got to be ready to do this. So that's what kind of also got me into like diving into a different type of life early on, like going out.
Yeah, you have to be the man of the house.
Hell yeah. Like I always felt that responsibility for sure, for sure. Like so yeah, I got into
Oh,
a lot of shit young trying to be too grown and I should have been, but at the end of the day it worked out for me, to be honest with you. Like it really did. I did a lot of shit when I was real young and yeah, now looking back on it, I wouldn't have it no other way. But yeah, I always had that chip on my shoulder. Like I gotta do something for the family. Like I always tried to play that figure, tried to be the one that like if my brother needs some cho, I want to be able to have some money in my pocket just so I can give you some. Or if my mom's tell me that something's short on these bills that's gonna come up, I want to be able to. I don't want you to have to go out and look for how you finna find your next $500. Here you go. Like it's always been that type of like just I gotta keep some money on me just in case my mama need it. Like
yeah, you always have that type of mentality.
hell yeah.
You released a Billy Ocean remix featuring a pretty ass Tati. How
Yep,
did
yep,
you
yep.
two
That's
end
my
up
dog.
for that song?
You said what?
How did you two end up linking for that song?
Shit, I done knew Tati since before we was both rapping. I've been knew Tati. Tati been like that's what I'm saying about being around the South too. You gonna know everybody off rip. If y'all all actually going outside and been outside since y'all was young, you gonna already know everybody. So I've been knew Tati. Um, and when I did the Billy Ocean song, it was like that was like a twerk song. I made that song like directed to be like a twerk song, like a party song. And then when I was thinking about doing a remix for it, I was like, I gotta put a female on here. Like, I gotta have a female perspective on this song. And then I
Tell me
was thinking
right.
about it, and I was like, shit, Tati damn near perfect because she had just dropped a song that was going stupid, and I had heard that, and I was like, oh, I don't even know why we ain't worked yet. So I just sent that over and was like, you can cook up something to this, and she sent it back to me, and shit. After that, it was history. I went back to SAC to shoot the video. We did the video on her birthday. And we was turned up. We was fired up. We made it happen. I'm not gonna lie. That's one of my favorite records I done did.
Yeah, that record was dope. So the
Appreciate
reason
it.
why you featured her on her, like why you featured her, is because you felt like you needed a female artist on there, and you felt like she was the type to like get your song more like
Yeah,
out there.
hell yeah. I needed a female artist on that mug, and I knew she was dope. I been knew that she was gonna go crazy. She comes stupid with the bars every song she do, and we already needed a song. We needed to do something. Like it only made sense that we should have worked. We should have probably been had a song years ago, but I was just like, shit. You feel me? Ain't no time like right now. You feel me? Like ain't no time like the present.
Yeah, I hear you. And how was it just in school? Did you end up graduating high school?
Yeah, I graduated. I graduated. Actually, I had a crazy story about how I graduated. When I graduated, I was on ankle monitor when I graduated. I damn near wasn't going to graduate. The principal and my teacher at my school had to get me out of juvie. They had to put in letters and call up to the judge. The judge actually wasn't finna let me out so that I could graduate, but my teacher and my principal called up to the school. I mean, called up to my court hearing and told the judge like, we know for a fact if he's able to get out on ankle monitor, he'll be able to graduate. And that was the only deciding factor on the judge. You feel me? Letting me go so I could go finish my high school. You feel me? Like other than
Yeah.
that, I would have been still in juvie trying to redo heck of credits and trying to make up heck of credits in there. But yeah, thank God to them. Shout out to Miss Peterson. I'll never forget her for that. I was in that courtroom. That judge instantly was like, yeah, nah, you're about to go back in there. Like, don't even worry about it. You're not getting released. And then something came across his desk and he was like, who is a Miss Peterson? I was like, that was my teacher. And he read out what she said. And he was like, well, what she said, I got to believe it. Like, I got to give you this last chance to go and graduate. And I got out on ankle. I went and graduated on ankle. Had my party, cut off my ankle monitor and shit. The rest was history. It was over with after that.
Oh shit. Damn. So you got lucky at that like time that the principal came in and pretty much vouched for you.
Yeah, hell yeah, because I always been smart as hell. Like when I was in elementary and all that, I was in gifted classes. They always wanted me to skip grades. Like I always been smart, but I just always been bad. Like I always been like when I was in school, I just always used to fuck around. Like I get done with my test, I get a good grade on my test, get done, but then I go mess everybody up. Like I go mess, I get done with my test, but I'm gonna stop the kid next to me from finishing his. You feel me? I was that type of kid. Like I'm gonna start joking right after I'm done doing what I need to do. And that type of shit always had me in trouble. But I always had good connections and good relationships with my teachers and like the principals and stuff like that. Because they always knew like I'm smart. I just don't like this school shit. Like that's all. That's all it really was. So yeah, but I had a great connection with my teacher when I went to Sabit. I went to a continuation school because I got kicked out of Kennedy and kicked out of Florence. So I got kicked out of two schools already. Went to this school, and then yeah, I was able to build that rapport with that teacher, and she saved me last second. She saved me for sure. Because other than that, I was for sure finna be just getting a GED or trying to, or you feel me? I don't know what I would have been doing if I wouldn't have
Figure it
graduated.
out.
I probably
Yeah.
would have said fuck all this shit, to be honest. But
Shit.
I
Yeah.
graduated and my GPA was stupid high. I graduated with like a 3.7. I almost had a 4.0 on ankle graduating.
Shit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And what was the reasons why you got expelled or kicked out of the other schools?
I got kicked out of my first school I got kicked out of. The principal already didn't like my big brother. He already kicked my big brother out. So when I came, he already was looking at me like, bro, hey, you want a short leash, buddy. You feel me? He was on that. Like, littlest thing I do, it's over with. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell this story. Look, this exclusive information. Look, I was at school and a girl randomly
Hear that?
came up from behind and grabbed my hair. Right? So she grabbed my hair. All I feel is me getting pulled to the ground by my hair. So I turn around and I instantly, I grab her up. I got her. I'm not gonna lie. I was burnt out. I was burnt out in high school, bro. I was super burnt out. But she yanked on my hair, bro. More of the story, I had to yoke her up a little bit. The teacher came, tapped me, and the principal came, tapped me on my shoulder, said, "Yeah, buddy, you're done. Just go to the office. You're done. You already know what time it is."
Sure.
Walk to
Damn,
the
you were on
office.
here already.
Walked to the office, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, you're done. You're kicked out."
Damn, that's all bad. And did they end up like? So they didn't end up, or she didn't end up pressing charges at all,
Hell,
or
nah, because she knew she was wrong. She knew she was wrong. She was trying to. I feel like she was trying to like fake way, like she was trying to flirt or thought that that's how like she could play. But I really got like in the moment, like my anger got the best of me because I wasn't trying to play no games. I didn't see the joke. I didn't see what was funny about it. I didn't get it. So so she was really trying to play a
Yeah,
joke or
fuck all
something.
that.
You said what?
You're like, fuck all that, like, at that
Yeah,
time.
like I really got pissed off. I'm in the middle of a conversation. All I feel is my hair just get yanked to the floor. I wasn't, it wasn't funny time for me after that. So, but yeah, when she went to the office and everything, actually, when I was getting, this crazy too, when I was getting kicked out, like when I was sitting there, in the principal's office, she came to the principal's office and was like knocking on the door, like banging on the door, trying to tell him not to expel me, like trying to tell him that it was her fault and everything like that, but he already didn't like my brother, so he wasn't trying to hear none of that. Like he already knew he was gonna kick me out the day I first stepped foot on that campus. Like he he already wasn't feeling me.
Yeah, damn. So you already had like something against you first time you stepped in that school.
Yeah, he was. It was already destined for me to get kicked out, and I was already doing so much stuff around there that he just didn't catch me for. So once he actually caught me for something, he wasn't letting go of that. Like he made sure that I got kicked out. So it was just like that. And after that, it was over with. I was like, man, it is what it is. And then after I went to that school, and I used to keep going back up there too after I got kicked out. So he really hated me. It was bad business. I was bad for business. I used to really be burnt out in high school. I'm not gonna lie. And then I went to foreign. I don't even remember what I got kicked out of foreign for. Yeah, I can't even remember what I got kicked out of foreign for. But that's the school I was supposed to actually go to. When I went to Kennedy, it was like I had to use somebody else's address, all that to go there. Like I wasn't even supposed to be going to that school. And then I went to my home school at foreign. I ended up getting kicked out of there, and then I had to go to Saba, the continuation school, and that's where I graduated from.
All right. Um, damn. So you were both pretty much bad and good in school,
Hell yeah,
is what you're saying.
yeah, cause like on paper, I could do all the work. All the work wasn't no problem. It was just like, am I finna do it? Like, if you give me some homework 9 times out of 10 after I leave here, I'm finna go act the ass. So I'm not even worried about doing the homework. But all the tests and everything, easy. Like the test was always easy for me. Like I was always cool with that, and like my rapport with the teachers and stuff was always good. But I just used to act out. Like I used to be really like I'm I don't know, but I just always had that bad. Like I used to go to school with an itch to get into something. Like, I'm finna get into
Turned
something
up.
today. I don't know. Like today feel like a day I'm finna fuck up. That's how I really used to be.
Yeah, just all the way turned up. When did you start getting into music?
I've been rapping like I've been rapping since I was a kid. Like the earliest thing I can remember in my mind is even like me thinking about how to make a song and put music together. So I used to always walk around just freestyling. And I had an uncle, and he used to pick me and my brother up, and we'd like go spend like the week over there. Um and when I was over at his house, I was super young, like probably like 5, 6. Like I'm super young. And I used to just walk around like rapping little random bars, and he'd be like, "Bro, what is that? Like, who is you? Whose song is you singing?" I'd be like, "Me." Like, I just made that up. And then one day he was like, "Bro, stop just saying random stuff. Like, actually sit here and put together a song. Like, listen to how a song is formatted, and like actually try to make a song, because you talking your shit." And I sat there one day and I just started rapping, and I made like my first little song when I was like super young. And then after that, like every Mother's Day, I used to write my mom raps for Mother's Day. Like she'd wake up, other kids was giving breakfast in bed. I was giving breakfast in bed with a show. I used to be at the foot of my mom's bed, sitting there rapping to her Mother's Day songs every
Hey,
morning and stuff like that. Or on her birthday, I'll write her a little like poem, but it wasn't a poem. It was really a rap. Like she'd read it and be like, you go ahead and do it. Like like I don't want to read it in here. Tell me how this is supposed to sound. So yeah, I used to do all of that. Like music always been a thing for me. And my growing up,
uh,
all like I got a big cousin, and it's so Cuddy Gabos. I do music with him now. Like we still constantly, he featured on like every project I done did. That's my older cousin. And like my first cousin, like that's my older cousin. And he always used to sit there and hear me rapping, and he was rapping. He was in a whole rap group and everything like that. So he used to hear me rapping, and he always just told me like, keep going, like keep on doing that shit. Or every time he see me, he'll make me freestyle for him. So I had the music influence around me already growing up, and they forced me to dive into it more. So by the time I got into high school and I really learned about like what a studio was and like how to actually record myself, it was a no brainer. I was like, oh, I got to really see what I could do with this, because I already been getting told my whole life like, oh, you got it, like so. I just had to do it.
Yeah.
It's something that's like for sure. I always knew I was gonna do music, like without a question, without a question.
Oh, damn. You had a lot of people that motivated, pushed you to like pursue your music career
Hell
and
yeah,
all.
and my
Is
like
it?
a lot of people too. Like I feel like when they growing up, like they might start rapping and stuff, and the people around them, like their moms, they they older cousins, whatever, they might hear that shit and be like, "Bruh, shut up!" Like push it to the side, or Mom Dukes might be like, "Bruh, stop doing all that cussing and shut up. You're not finna be no rapper. You finna be." My mom always was 100% behind me. Like I, I'm not gonna lie, I had the biggest support system with Mom Dukes. Like that's why I always pay so much homage to her because she made sure that she always told me I was raw. Like before I even was really raw, probably like I probably wasn't even good like that. But she always made sure that I thought that I was the best rapper in the world. Like I she'd be around her friends or
Yeah.
something, and she'd be like, "Show him that little, you feel me? Show him that little shit you just did earlier." Like she was one of those moms. Like she always supported me, so it made it easy for me. It made it easy for me. My whole family been supporting me from the start, so it never was a question to me if I should do it or not. Like I never had nobody saying like, "Oh, stop that." Like
Yeah, that's a band right there. And what age did
what age did I start writing music? Well, yeah, like I said, I've been writing since I was a kid. Like as early as I can remember. I'm not gonna lie. My mom got videos on her old phone of me. I used to write raps and take her phone when she went to sleep and go in the bathroom and record myself rehearsing the song so I could hear how my voice sounded rapping it, like so I could hear back how I sounded. Like so, it's
yeah.
super early. Like I couldn't even give you an age to be honest. I'd be lying if I said a number, but since as early as I can remember, I was always putting down bars on a piece of paper for sure. But when I first made my real song, though, like recorded myself and like went into an actual studio, I was in like ninth grade to give some type of a time frame on when I really started taking stuff seriouser, like more serious, was probably around like ninth grade. But my whole life I've been writing music, been making music, writing music, freestyling, the whole nine. Like it's videos of me freestyling in middle school, elementary school, from every year of my life. You could probably find a video of me freestyling. I promise you. Like
Done.
that's just always
So
what I did.
you were just dedicated from the start and
For
all.
sure. It's been my passion since the jump. Like I knew that this was what I was gonna do forever. It's never been a question.
First time hitting the studio, how was that experience?
The first time I went to the studio, it was I was with my boy Zachary, and I went over to his house and I recorded a song. It's still out right now. If y'all look on YouTube, y'all be able to find it under Stash Spot, Savvy Bo. And my first original rap name was Savvy Bo, SAVVIBO. Before I was Savvy Gabos, like that's when my music started being under the name Savvy Gabos. That's when I really started taking music serious. Like but when I was Savvy Bo was when I first started recording. And I went over to my partner house and he was like, I got a studio. So we was like, bet. We went over there. I shot dice with his dad for like an hour. And then he randomly sat there and hooked up the studio, got it hooked up. And I just got in front of that mug and recorded my first song. Yeah, Stash Spot. Stash Spot. Anybody who want to go back and hear what I what I sounded like when I first started recording Stash Spot by Savvy Bo. That mug was, hey, and it's still hard to this day. I'm not gonna lie. I've been tripping. I've been tripping.
That's right. Um, it didn't take that long for you to even like perfect your style, even find your style. You already knew it from the jump.
I don't really like I got a style per se. Like I try to stay as versatile as possible. So like when I listen to the like I just feel like I've been like song that I made like uh feel like is the best way I could describe it. I've been like, I always been making music and it always felt good, but I just now like really realized how cold I really am, like how many different pockets I could jump into. Realize that I don't need to stay only doing one pocket. Like I don't have to only do murder murder kill songs. I don't gotta only do love songs. I don't gotta stay in any pocket. However I'm feeling is how my music is gonna be. Like it really reflects off my life because I really be talking about what I'm going through. So if I've been having a good month, my music might be the most get money. Hey, you turned up,
It'll be
shake
all
that ass.
up.
It might be all that, you know. But if it's been a bad month, you might get that pain song. If it's been a month, if I just found new love, because I had a cold, I went on a cold spree of love songs, and that's because in real life I was really getting into a new relationship and finding new love. So my music reflected that. I just always been like that type. Like I like to let my music tell my story. So I don't got really one lane that I've been staying in. So I can't really say um like it was hard for me to find my sound or anything like that because it switches so often. Like my sound on this tape don't sound nothing like my last tape, you know? Like I'm constantly switching.
Yeah, that versatile. You'd be versatile with it. Have you ever tried to like maybe step out your realm of rap and hip hop? Maybe go to like R&B, switch it
Yeah,
up to
hell yeah.
some
That's what I'm
rock.
saying. I got a whole lot of songs where I'm singing. I got songs where it's straight vocals. Like I got songs that like I showed my mom this one song I got. It's called Vitiligo, and when she was listening to it for the first time, she didn't even know it was me. Like I wasn't even because she had never heard me like really sing on a record. Um, and yeah, I got songs where I'm just singing. I got a song called Rockstar where I did like a rock star type like vibe to it. It's not even hip hop like that. Like it's still hip hop because I'm dropping bars, but it's called Rockstar, and I really came on that mug like a rock star. Like I dive into several different pockets for sure. I ain't touched
Oh,
the
okay.
country side or nothing like that, nothing too crazy, but R&B for sure. I got several songs that like you could put in that R&B category for sure.
That's right. That's what's up. And yeah, that's there's like a lot of artists that don't do that. They pretty much stay to one specific like style, one specific genre. What makes you
Yeah.
want to like branch off to different like genres?
Cause I feel like, okay, so how you just said there's a lot of artists that like to stick to one genre. I don't think that's an artist. That's not an artist to me. That's just a rapper. Like to me, to make one sound of music. Like if you only make like drill rap, hardcore rap, you just a rapper. Like is but when you're able to
100. Yeah, everybody do other stuff. Yeah, yeah. So that, yeah, that's your passion. Just, yeah, you gotta like switch that label.
one style. Like Boss Man D'Lo. Boss Man D'Lo, he hot right now. He got it. Like his whole little style, his whole flow, how he be getting on beats is crazy. But we ain't seen him get versatile yet. So I wouldn't even be like obliged to call him an artist. Like that's a rapper to me. He just a rapper. He a get money rapper, and it's tight. It's cool. All points and kudos to it. But I don't think that we could call that an artist. Like unless
Yeah, do something different. Maybe hop on like an R&B track or something. Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, you released a song called "So Gone." So gone. What kind of setting were you in when you wrote that song?
Shoot. So Gone is a song. So Gone is a song about. It's really about a couple of my partners that passed away, and when people try to use the names of like the dead, like I feel like a lot of times people try to like just because they knew somebody a little bit and they die, now you try to use their name in vain. Like you try to use their name to you try to
Get
use their
clout.
name almost for clout. Like you try to use it to make yourself look better instead of trying to like really honor their name.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the bag that I was in when I made that song. Like I my first bars on there is like I hate when people say your name, they're showing off. I hate to post on special days. I log off. Savvy put in work I never really called off, and I'm back up in my bag just wishing I could call y'all. Like that's really the whole vibe of the song. Like I'm the type like I don't want to post 100 pictures of my partner that died on the day that he died. I don't want to go to Instagram and cry on Instagram and tell Instagram about how much I love my partner.
Grieve and all that.
You said what?
You just want to grieve like in peace and all that.
Yeah, like in real life, like not, and it's not even in peace. I might be with the whole gang. We might be at the house turned up, doing it up, yelling their name all day. But I'm not finna be on social media doing it for the internet. Like I don't wanna only love your name on the internet. I don't wanna only talk about you on the internet. Like in real life, I really be having conversations with the people I don't lost. Like in real life, when times get hard, I really be looking up, like really thinking back on like, damn, if only you was here to really let me know what I should do right now. Like I'm really still hurt about the people I lost. I don't want to just sit here and only make it an Instagram thing. Like, oh, every February 16th, I like to go be with my partner's mama. I want to go do what his mom want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go to the grave site with my people's with the people. Like, I want to really be with the family. Like when it's those days, I'm not be on internet, and I feel like a lot of people they take just that. Like they'll just, oh, my partner died. I posted a picture of him today, so it's good. I don't like that shit. And I hate when niggas do that shit with my partners. Like, don't do that, because
Yeah.
I'd be damned if I die and niggas is just sitting here posting pictures of me forever, but you ain't never actually grieved for me or cried for me. Like you don't really love me. You don't really miss me. You just want to show Instagram that we was cool. That's not tight to me.
Yeah, it's like being like pretty much snake and like trying to get publicity and shit off of your
Yeah,
death.
like bro, niggas just want to have dead homies because it's cool. That shit's not cool. It's nothing cool about having dead homies. If I could have all my niggas back right now, I'll trade anything. Like I'm not trying to glamorize it. Like, oh yeah, I got a dead partner. Look at this picture of him. That's not cool to me. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Uh, you released a song called "Bad Influence" with Cuddy Gabbles, and are you guys brothers? Because you guys go by the same like last name, like not the last name, but the same like name, or is it just someone you know? The song "Bad Influence" featuring Cuddy Gabbles.
Like every day, like
Yes, sir.
What's the
Yes, sir,
deal?
man. Supposed to cut the boss in this thing, man.
come on, bro.
That's right.
But yeah, that's my brother, that's my cousin, that's my, you feel me? That's all that in one. Like
Oh God.
we really be together every day. Like it's not a lot of, and that's how a lot of my features is. Like if you go look at TVE Tavy, that's my blood cousin that I grew up with. Like all a lot of this stuff really is like it starts in the home. Like when they say it take a village, my village was strong, and we really been staying together and locked in. So yeah, Cuddy
Mm.
Caboose, that's one of my favorite people to feature on my music because we got that chemistry. We really grew up together. That's who I was telling you about earlier when I said my big cousin used to be rapping and he made me keep freestyling and stuff like that. That's him.
Oh, he was the one that kept you going.
Yeah, like every time he'd see me, he'd be like, "Little nigga, spit a 16." And I'd be like, "What is the 16?" He'd be like, "Let's see, you don't even."
Oh shit, that's what's up to see.
Most of the people I be around to this day is just family. Like I don't even trust myself around outside people. I hate letting snakes in the grass. Like most of the people you see me around is always gonna be family. It's some way, somehow they my mama cousin or something like is really embedded. Like it's really from the roots. Like
I see. I was
that being on the end of his name is kind of like
okay. You're all locked in and all that. What was the story behind that track, and what made you want to write a song
that.
like that? Yeah.
My grandma um, got snuck off to go smoke on the roof. So he like 8 years older than me. So if I was 8, I'm like, let me hit it, bro. If you don't let me hit it, I'm gonna tell him you out here smoking. He's like, bro, come on, nigga, let me go on the roof with him. I smoked for my first time when I was like 8 years old. That song really like it's self-explanatory. Bad influence for the show. Like,
Oh shit. Yeah. What was that feeling like? Just smoking for the first time? Did you like have a bad experience or?
nah, hell no, that shit was cool. That shit was cool. Yeah, I don't even like, bro. Like, I don't even remember 100% what happened with that. I just remember going back to school and being like, you niggas don't know what no perp is? Y'all ain't never smoked no perp? That's all I kept saying. I thought I was the man after that. I smoked perp with my
Yeah.
big cousin, nigga. Y'all don't know shit about no perp.
You thought you were like you were on already and everything.
I thought I was the man. I thought I was the one for sure. After that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm turned. I was like, yeah, I'm turned. I thought that was it. I thought I made it.
Yeah, I see. What made you want to release "Back to My Bag" for?
So I've been doing that series, the Back to My Bag series, since 2020. So when I first came into the game, that was like my debut project a little bit. Back to My Bag. And that the name for the Back to My Bag came from after 2020 was the year when I was on ankle and I had all that stuff going on with the case. And then I got released from all that and was putting all that behind me and really trying to dive back into the music, like really trying to give the music a real shot. So Back to My Bag, this was always a reference to like I know I've been fucking up, but I'm about to get back to my bag. I'm about to get back in the mind state of really trying to get to this money. And
Yeah,
over the years, it just be certain stuff that be happening, and it'd be like shit. The second one, when I made the second one, it was like I felt like I was on repeat. Like I got deja vu. So I was like, but it only makes sense to make another Back to My Bag. So Back to My Bag 2 was supposed to be the end of it. But once I made that, and I like people was telling me like around the same time that they dropped, they was hitting me like, oh, What's up with Back to My Bag 3? What's up with Back to My Bag 3? So I was like, shit, I'm gonna drop it. You feel me? I did Back to My Bag 3, and then I just did Back to
People
My
were
Bag 4
fucking.
because it was like I got to, and I drop them every year on my birthday on July 5th. They all dropped on July 5th each year. So I just I did a 4-year run. Each tape got like 20 songs on it. So all together in those 4 tapes, it's like 80 songs. Like, and that's just for the artistry. That was really just for the artistry and for the culture of doing it. To be honest with you, like, yeah, I Back to My Bag, man. That's all it was. But I've been telling
Okay.
people, and I've been trying to make it known that that's gonna be the last Back to My Bag, though. Like, I don't think cause I don't want to get up out of my bag
You
now.
know,
Now that I'm in my bag, you said what?
there's no 5 coming.
I don't want to have to make a 5 because the whole idea behind the tape is like when you fall off, like when you get off your grind, like you get knocked off your pivot by something, like anything can happen. You can have a death, you can have you can have some tragic events happen, niggas get locked up, and now you got to try to figure out how to get back to living life. I don't want to get out of my bag to the point where I got to get back to it again. So I'm trying my best to stay in my bag, but depending on how the start of this year go, it might be a Back to My Bag 5. But you feel me? If I stay in my bag, I don't want to like I said, I really try to make my music based on how I'm living my life. So if I don't leave my bag, I can't make another Back to My Bag.
I feel that.
I'm
And
trying to stay in this motherfucker for sure.
yeah, I see. Trying to stay on the path what you're on right now.
Hell yeah.
You're
It's tough though.
you're mo
It's tough. This independent artist grind is different. You got to believe in yourself more than the whole world. You got to believe in yourself more than anybody in the world believe in you. And that's a tough ask even from yourself. All right.
yeah. Your most trending song on that project is called "Hello," featuring TBE, Tabby, and Cuddy Gambles. How'd you guys
Yeah,
get plugged
TBE,
in?
TBE, Tavy, and Cuddy Gabos.
How'd you guys get plugged in?
Those are my cousins. I'm telling you. Those are the same. That's Cuddy Gabos right there. And that's my first cousin too. Them is both my blood cousins. Like grew up in the same house. Me and Tavy put together a collab tape that we just dropped last year called Scanned Away, or maybe earlier this. Nah, I think it was, yeah, like earlier this year we dropped Scanned Away, and that's based off of me and Tavy used to live in the same house growing up. Our moms had got a house together, and we lived on Scanned Away together. So we made a whole collab tape based off of it. Like a lot of this stuff, bro. I'm really just telling my life story, and I'm telling it with the people I've been around my whole life. Like that song and it's so crazy because that's one of the best songs that will numbers wise. That song done did the best off of that tape compared to the other songs. It's done amazing compared to like everything
Yeah,
I've
it's hot
dropped. Like you said what?
right now. It's like hot. Like that song. Like everyone's working with right now.
Yeah, the fans' reaction to that song is crazy. They loving that song, and that song was a song that we made on the spot. Like we didn't have that, we didn't plan on that song going into the studio. They was just going up to the studio with me to cook up for my tape. And how we always work is we'll just go to the studio and like if I need a verse on something, they'll already be there. So I don't gotta call them or let them know I got an open verse for them. They already right there. So I just rock up to the studio with them. And when I did that song, originally I was gonna do it by myself. And then once I got to like that, the first little 8, that chorus, I was like, shit, who want to get in here? And then Tavy was like, I got something. So he cooked up. And then I was like, Cuddy, write a verse while Tavy in there. Cuddy wrote his verse while Tavy was in there doing his. I came up with my stuff off the dome. I didn't write not a lick of that. And then, yeah, we put that song together out of thin air. I'm not going to lie to you. That song came out of nowhere. That's probably one of my biggest shockers. Like, I did not know going into the studio that we were going to leave with a hit like that. We came out of there with a hit out of nowhere. Like
It was
none of
just
us had our verses
spontaneous.
going in there. It was a crazy that record. I always love that record for that because that was really one of the most organic records that I ever seen get put together right in front of my eyes like that.
I was gonna ask you about your writing process. Do you be freestyling a lot, or do you be writing
Yeah,
down mostly?
it depends. It depends. Like if I just hear the beat and I'm instantly feeling the vibe off of it, like I'm already sitting there and like I'm hearing and I can hear some stuff that I'm gonna say, I'll just get in there and try to go. Especially if I'm working with my engineer. Shout out Stu22, shout out Steven. And out here in Texas, shout out BT Studios. If I'm working with an engineer and I got the chemistry with him, and like they know like punch me in right here, or make sure you always recording me, or let me get in there and try to work for a second. Like the chemistry in the studio got a lot to do with it too. But yeah, a lot of times I'll try to go in with something written just because like okay, So Gone, the So Gone song that you asked about earlier.
Yeah.
When it's a song like that and it got like a deeper meaning, 9 times out of 10 I wrote that. Like if it's a song that got like a super deep meaning, or it sound like a song that's like super sentimental, 9 times out of 10 I wrote that, or majority of it. A lot of times, even if I write a song though, I'll only write the first verse and the hook, and then when I get into the studio, I'll make sure that I haven't wrote nothing on the verse, so that can be like a whole new to even me. So yeah, freestyling is a big part of my writing process, but it's not all of it. I mainly do write, but I always freestyle even a little bit on each song, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you're like you do a little of both.
Yeah, for sure, depending on what it is. And I like structure to my music. Like I like to do like 8-bar hooks. I like to have 3 hooks, 2 verses. Like I like structure with my songs. So a lot of times writing them out helps with that. Like, but Hello is a real unorthodox song because it's only 2 hooks, one at the start, one at the end. And I did like a half verse at the start, a half verse at the end, and then both of their verses is in between. So it's structure of that song is super unorthodox, but it works. Like it just worked amazingly for that song. So it's just different. It's just depending on the beat, depending on the vibe in the studio, depending on how I'm feeling, what I got to talk about, what I'm trying to get off my chest. All of that goes into it for me. Like each song is a whole different gem in its own. And I try to allow it to be that. I don't never try to like go into the studio thinking like, oh, I'm gonna do this song just like I did that song because that one did good. I always try to let each song have its own life. You know, like.
Yeah, most definitely. You got a new album coming out or ready to drop?
Okay, so right now I've been working kind of behind the scenes with TBE Tavy and Cuddy Gabos. They both got tapes coming out. TBE Tavy got a tape called Last Call. It's coming out 10/24/24. So dropping towards the end of this month, a couple of days really. That's supposed to be coming out. TBE Tavy Last Call. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. And then Cuddy Gabos got a tape coming out before the end of the year called Mind of a Specialist. And I've been trying to really work with those 2 tapes and seeing all I could do for those tapes because they helped me so much on my projects. And I just dropped my last project had 22 songs on it. So really I'm not even in a rush to drop nothing else. I want them to live with that tape. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of singles. I got a single with Cash Keep It. My nigga Cash, yeah. I got a single with him that we've been waiting to drop. I got a collab tape coming with K Dollars. I'm about to do some stuff with Fame. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm always working consistently working for sure. But yeah, I don't got no big project, no big solo project at least right now that I'm working on now. But I got a whole bunch of collab tapes. Oh yeah, and I forgot I got a collab tape coming out with Zamo too. Zamo the Roadrunner. So I got 2 collab tapes for sure locked in coming right now. After Cuddy Gabos drop his tape that's coming up, we gonna do a collab tape. That's really what I've been focused on for real. I just want to do a couple EPs and drop a lot of singles just because all of my projects have been so big. Like I always got 20 songs on a project and I already know the attention span of the audience isn't really there to listen to 20 songs straight through. So I'm trying to give them smaller portions that's more, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to come with a whole bunch of little like 4 or 5 song EPs or singles, just because I know that they'll be able to resonate with that more.
No time to prove what. No time.
Fuck all that, nigga. We turn it up, so I just had to rebuild the studio from scratch.
Like all my life type shit.
Yeah.